Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, one of the most disrespected players in the NBA right now. Him and Devin Booker, in my opinion, are two of the most disrespected players in the NBA. Devin Booker got no votes for MVP. It seems like no first place votes. He really should have been in the running for MVP, best team in the league, best player on the best team in the league. And Jimmy Butler, sometimes he just get disrespected. Like, he's an okay player. He can show up sometimes, because Jimmy Butler really doesn't focus the regular season on putting up big numbers or trying to attack or just trying to just put up these huge numbers. He doesn't. He's a team player, but in the playoffs, Jimmy Butler cannot be a team player at all. I said this in 2020, that playoff run that Jimmy Butler had, it wasn't a Jimmy Butler that we were accustomed to seeing in the regular season. The Jimmy Butler that passed the ball, that set picks, that did the dirty work and just took like 16, 17, 18 shots. No, the Jimmy Butler that's aggressive, putting up 20-plus shots, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, makes this Heat team extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. And they beat Philly, just ran them off the court. I know toward the end it became, the score got cut down a little bit. But Jimmy Butler is a guy to be reckoned with. This was teams wrote Jimmy Butler off. From Chicago, he caused trouble. Minnesota, he caused trouble. In Philly, he caused trouble all of a sudden. And we saw the clip of Jimmy Butler. We have played that clip of Jimmy Butler going to the locker room right fast. Just play it.
Tobias Harris over me?
Yep. You chose Tobias Harris over me. And I'm still in shock to this day. I remember seeing that they signed Tobias Harris to that huge contract. I think it was $100+ million contract to Tobias Harris. Now, I'm not saying Tobias Harris is a screw up, not at all. This dude is an NBA player. He's one of the best basketball players in the world. Of course, he's in the NBA. But compare him to a Jimmy Butler, there's no way that you shouldn't compare that, in my opinion. You should have kept Jimmy Butler on that Philly team with Ben Simmons, with Joel Embiid, and I believe Jimmy would have pushed Ben, and Ben would have been a better player in Philly than he turned out to be. We know how that turned out. That didn't turn out too good for Ben Simmons in Philadelphia. Not at all. I mean, the man didn't play the whole season. The man didn't play the whole season, y'all. So it turned out pretty bad for Ben Simmons. But Jimmy Butler is he's a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. His game is made for the playoffs. Mid-range, free throws, hitting tough shots. And when his three-point shot is falling, because I know during the regular season he shot a horrible percentage, but in the playoffs, if that three-pointer is falling for Jimmy Butler, he tends to be a dangerous matchup on the offensive end. And he's tenacious on defense. And this Miami team is real good. Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson, I don't know. This man just seemed like he's been in a doghouse. And Victor Oladipo, who is stepping up and actually playing defense, making things happen on the offensive end. He's not that Victor Oladipo that we saw in Indiana that took LeBron to 7 games in the first round. That's not the Oladipo that we are seeing. But right now we are seeing this Miami Heat team gel together, work together, and make things happen. And now they're in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm not surprised at all. But this is what happened when teams just let great players go. Minnesota, Chicago, Philly. How did Philadelphia let Jimmy Butler go? Why? And this is the ultimate revenge to beat them. To beat them in 6 games. To beat them in 6 games and to beat them on their home floor. Which is like, hey, yeah, I beat you on your home floor. You let me go. That was stupid. And it was not a smart decision at all to let Jimmy Butler walk. And Jimmy Butler, just give this man his respect, give him his due. He's aggressive. He makes things happen on the offensive end. He doesn't get the respect. The Miami Heat don't get the respect that they deserve either. A great defensive team, and they have 3-point shooters. And now if Kyle Lowry can step up and play anything remotely close to the way he played when they were playing against the Golden State Warriors, Kyle Lowry played great. That Golden State series in the finals, he played great. That run with Kawhi Leonard, he was playing great. He was a great point guard. I remember at the time people were saying Kyle Lowry, he's this great leader. He's one of the top 3 point guards in the league. I never say he was one of the top 3 point guards in the league, but he's a great point guard. And now if Kyle Lowry can get it going and make things happen, oh my goodness, watch out. Watch out for this Miami Heat team. Watch out for Jimmy Butler. Watch out for Tyler Herro. Watch out for Bam. All of these guys are playing with chips on their shoulders. Like everybody. Oladipo's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Teams didn't really want him. He was injury prone, all those things. And now he's trying to make a name for himself again. Jimmy Butler, he's been written off. Bad attitude. Nobody likes him. He's detrimental to the team. Bam, didn't get no defensive player of the year votes. He feel like he should have been the defensive player of the year. Tyler Herro had to continue to prove himself again and again. People saying, hey, that was a bubble hero. He only can do that in the bubble. And now these players are proving themselves and saying, hey, we are those type of players. We can get things done in the playoffs. We can make things happen. This is a championship team. We are a well-oiled machine under this Pat Riley machine, whatever you want to call it. And to beat Philadelphia in this fashion that they beat them in was funny to see because you let this man walk. You let him go. You kept Tobias Harris. And now Joel Embiid is continuing to just throw comments after the game and saying, hey, man, I don't know how we miss Jimmy Butler. Yeah, I wish I had him on my team. They had a great relationship. Like, him and Jimmy have a great relationship. Jimmy like, oh, man, I want to play Embiid. Like, I hope the big man out there, I know Jimmy and Embiid has a great relationship together, and I know Embiid wanted Jimmy Butler. And he didn't get to have Jimmy Butler at the end of the day. And now he's at home. Wow. So I don't know if you are seeing a future if Joel Embiid try to get his way out of Philly to Miami. I don't know. Maybe that's just a dream. We will have to wait and see, though. That's funny that I mentioned that. I don't think that will happen. But Philadelphia, sad to see. Miami Heat, it's great to see. It's great to see teams that are underrated, that are number 1 seeds and are still underrated, make a statement like they made against the Philadelphia 76ers. Like, James Harden didn't even want to attempt a shot on them. I don't know why. I'm not saying the defense was that great, but the defense was great. They were double teaming Harden at times, getting the ball out of his hands. He made a lot of careless turnovers. Miami Heat, they're just a dangerous team, and Jimmy Butler is dangerous in the playoffs. Jimmy Buckets turns on in the playoffs all the time. During the regular season, he's just Jimmy Butler. But in the playoffs, he turns into Jimmy Buckets, and that's the type of player you need him to be if you want to make a championship run, if you want to get past the Bucks or the Boston Celtics. Jimmy Butler has to be playing at all-time level for them to get to the finals, for them to even just make it a tough series. Every night Jimmy has to produce and make things happen. Wow. Now Philadelphia have to live with that clip forever. Wow.